Wow, look at that. Breadlines for the hungry people under communism. How shameful. This is obviously proof that communism doesn't— Wait a second. These are pictures from the Great Depression, a failure stemming from capitalism, not communism. Although it's a common stereotype that communists are bad with economics, it's often because they get the short end of the stick. Many countries were faced with decades of maldevelopment and exploitation when communism arrived. The devastation of war meant widespread poverty and misery in Eastern Europe, China, and Russia. Communism rebuilt these countries from the bottom up, leaving them in much better shape than when they found them. In contrast to communists building up formerly destroyed nations, capitalism destroyed the economies of former communist nations. When capitalism arrived in these countries, real income shrank around 30 to 40%, rent and real estate prices soared, inflation increased, consumer spending decreased by 38% in Russia, poverty and homelessness was commonplace, death rates from suicide, illness, and infant mortality increased, security for workers became essentially non-existent, and unemployment rates went as high as 30%. Keep in mind that before capitalism arrived, communist countries had full employment, free healthcare, widespread literacy and education, along with strong worker benefits. Of course, capitalists will say, the transition to capitalism and free markets will obviously have a period of hardship, but it's only temporary until economic prosperity magically appears. But guess what? They've been saying it for decades, left at the store to go get cigarettes, and haven't come back since. It only takes a quick look at Latin America to prove that something's up. As an afterthought, it's funny how capitalist apologists will laugh at breadlines in communism, but ignore the fact that there are already breadlines under capitalism. It's called the grocery store, and you actually have to pay for the bread, and those who can't afford it just starve to death. Those commies sure are oppressive by handing out free food, huh?